So far, we have been discussing the variety of modes that different species use for reproduction. Let us now look at the species that we are most interested in, namely humans. Humans use sexual mode of reproduction. How does this process work? That we can study now. Okay? When a baby begins to grow, the different parts of its body, such as head, arms, legs, and chest, grow at different rates. For about the first 12 years of its life, it goes through a phase of body enlargement and mental development. During this phase, its reproductive organs develop at a slower rate. At about 12 years of age, body enlargement slows down and certain other changes begin to appear. These changes prepare the body for sexual reproduction. This phase is known as adolescence. During this phase, certain parts of the body change in appearance and the person also experiences new sensations such as extreme happiness, sadness, anger, insecurity, and so on. All this is due to the beginning of the secretion of hormones from the ovary and testes. This ovary and testes are the reproductive organs. The age when this begins is called the age of sexual maturity or puberty. It varies from person to person. It is marked by some changes in boys and girls. Some of these changes are common to both boys and girls. Thick hair growth in new parts of the body such as armpits and the genital area between the thighs, which can also become darker in color. Thinner hair can also appear on legs and arms as well as on their face. The skin frequently becomes oily and might begin to develop pimples. They begin to be conscious and aware of both their own bodies and those of others in new ways. On the other hand, there are also changes taking place that are different between boys and girls. In girls, breast size begin to increase with darkening of the skin of the nipples. Also, girls begin to menstruate at around this time. In boys, facial hair begins to grow. The vocal cords become wide, appearance of Adam's apple. Therefore, the voice begins to deepen. The testes become active and begin to produce sperms. The penis and scrotum become larger. These changes are slow and takes place over 6 years or so. They serve as signals identifiable by other individuals that sexual maturation is taking place. From this period onwards, sexual reproduction becomes a possibility as the body becomes capable of producing specialized germ cells that are needed for sexual reproduction. But Childbearing and lactation. Lactation means the production of milk. Need the female reproductive organs and breasts to be fully developed. Next, primary and secondary sex organs. Primary sex organs are those sex organs which give rise to gametes. They are the gonads or reproductive organs. Gonads, besides the production of gametes, it secretes hormones. Testes in males and ovaries in females are the gonads. Testes produce sperms and hormone testosterone. Ovaries produce ova and hormones estrogen and progesterone. Secondary sex organs are those organs or glands, ducts, which do not form gametes and hormones but are essential for sexual reproduction because they conduct and nourish the gametes. For example, vas deferens, prostate gland, penis in male, and uterus, vagina, mammary glands, etc. in females. Let us look at the systems involved in the process of sexual reproduction. That is, you will study the male reproductive system and female reproductive system in detail. Okay? Let us study male reproductive system. The male reproductive system consists of portions which produce the germ cells and the other portions that deliver the germ cells to the site of fertilization. It includes testis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and penis. The most important male reproductive organ is the testis, which produces sperms. There are two oval testes, each contained in a protective bag called a scrotum, lying outside the abdominal cavity. The scrotal sac can elongate and contract depending upon the body temperature and external temperature. This is necessary because sperm formation occurs at a temperature lower than normal body temperature. The testes produce sperms and a hormone testosterone continuously from the stage of puberty onwards. In addition to regulating the formation of sperms, testosterone brings about changes in appearance seen in boys at the time of puberty. That means the appearance of secondary sexual characters. Sperms from the testes pass through the sperm duct known as vas deferens. The vas deferens runs anteriorly up to the urinary bladder, from where it leads downward and is joined by a duct from the seminal vesicle. The seminal vesicle is an elongated sac at the base of the urinary bladder. For each testis, there is one vas deferens and one seminal vesicle. The functions of a seminal vesicle are to store the sperms that have come from the testis and to secrete seminal fluid. And this fluid helps in the movement of sperms as well as provide nourishment to the sperms. The sperm ducts from both sides join near the base of the urinary bladder opening into a single tube called a urethra. This junction occurs inside the prostate gland. The prostate gland adds its secretion to the seminal fluid. The urethra leads to the outside of the body through an organ called a penis. It carries both urine and seminal fluid. The penis is a muscular tubular organ made up of loose tissue with spaces in between. This is called erectile tissue. On being stimulated, this tissue fills with blood, making the penis erect and firm, so that it helps in the discharge of sperms. Next, sperms. Sperms are male gametes. Each male gamete has three parts: head, middle piece, and tail. Head has a chromosome for penetrating the egg coverings, nucleus, and a proximal centriole. The middle piece has mitochondria and distal centriole. It provides energy for movement. Tail is long and narrow, which helps it swim towards the ovum.